Hello everyone, we are going to go ahead and show you how to create the looped yarn wreath for our take-home project. So the supplies you are going to receive are the looped yarn that you will use to wrap around a wreath. You will receive an 11-inch foam wreath, and then you will also receive some with the loop yarn. We have the winter green picks, and then with the grass green yarn you will have the floral spring picks. So those will be what you have. If you want to use other items to help decorate, you certainly can. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through how to create your wreath. Now the easiest thing you're going to want to do first is with your yarn. You'll want to go ahead and undo all of this. So take it out of its skein and then from the wrapper, and then wrap it and wind it up into a big ball. This will allow you, when you're trying to wrap, to pass the yarn through, so it'll be quicker and simpler on that end. All right, now that we have our yarn wound up into a ball, we're going to go ahead and get started with this project. So the first thing you're going to want to do is secure your yarn to someplace on your wreath using some hot glue. So we're just going to go ahead and put some dollop on there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hold that on to make sure it sticks. And then what you will start with is the wrapping process. So this is just going to be you going around wrapping the yarn around. I'll set this back up here, around your wreath. Now this is just going to be a bit of a constant wrapping process, and what I would suggest is kind of keeping your hand close to and kind of holding on to these loops so that you stay together. If every so often you want to secure it again with a dab of glue, that would be a great idea, just to kind of keep it all nice and secure. Now what I'm also trying to do is make sure that the loops are staying out and I'm not covering them, because I do want to make sure that that texture is showing. Now your yarn is likely not going to be variegated. This is just one that I picked up at the store for this process. So you probably won't have to worry about too much making sure that the yarn is lining up. You can do this with a singular color yarn or however you want to. So I am going to go ahead and just add another dab of glue here. My glue sticks, or my glue guns don't want to stay up today. I'm just going to hold that down for just a second and then wrap. So if you wanted to, you could probably wrap around a couple of times before you pull the ball of yarn through. It just gives you a little bit more space, but you don't want to do it too much because otherwise you're going to get tangled. I just kind of like threw it through there because this is essentially what you're going to be doing for a little while, getting this yarn all the way around. So I am going to go ahead and speed up this process here, and then we will check back in when you are close to being done. If you run out of yarn from your skein, remember your skein is the one ball of yarn. So I have one skein here, I have a secondary skein here. When you run out, go ahead and secure it by adding a dab of glue to the end, and then go ahead and add your next skein of yarn into your wreath. All right, so now that we have gone through all of the wrapping process, your wreath should look something like this. You can tell that you have your texture now. All of our loops are out. We've secured everything with hot glue. One thing I would go ahead and do is pull all of those little hot glue strings out of there, and then just do a really quick check over of your wreath. Make sure everything looks the way you like it. I did notice earlier I had a little string or a piece of the loop yarn. Oh, here it is. That came undone. So I might just cut that part out. I'm gonna grab my scissors. I'm gonna go ahead and just trim that. So be careful though with your yarn, because if you do pull really hard, those loops will come out. So now that we are done wrapping our wreath, this is where you can let your imagination soar. So you can add any designs that you want to. Like we said earlier, there is opportunities for you to use some winter floral picks. So I could use something like this and stick some greenery in. The office here has a couple of different options and designs. I might want to think, and I tried to get some that they're more to scale. So these are really big. I might trim them down, and you can use them and you can hot glue them, or I can use them at the top. There's a lot of variety. You can even use some that have a little bit of glitter to them or whatever you might like. We have options for like bottle brush trees. So if you wanted to use some bottle brush trees on the inside, you could do that as well. Or as we said earlier, you could even include some floral wreaths as floral ribbon, using floral ribbon. So with floral ribbon has that wired edge. And so I am going to link a couple of videos that really showcase how to create a really pretty different types of bows that you can use and attach to your wreath. One thing that we do want to say with your fair projects is that you're going to want to make sure that you're not going holiday specific. So some judges in the fair projects do not like to see Christmas specific. They like to see winter specific, or they don't want to see Easter, they want to see spring. So it's really up to you for your preference how you want to do it. If you really have your heart set on doing a Christmas wreath, that's awesome. I'd love to see them. If you want to do more winter, that's kind of the way we went with like our picks and stuff. That is also up to you. So when you're looking at things in your fair projects, these are going to best go into Department C. Pardon all of my sticky notes. A great place would be in our home environment areas with things like design decisions. This is last year's fair book. You can find things like accessory 3D, so having a wreath. If you're going to use a lot of flowers on that, you could utilize as a floral arrangement. But my best suggestion is as a accessory 3D for this department. Or you could go into things like Celebrate Arts. Let me pull that up here. Or Design My Place. So you could do like a simple accessory, or you can even do a Celebrate Art. This would be more of a fiber situation in there as well. So what do we need to include when we are doing these projects? So for like design decisions, in this home environment area, you are going to want to make sure that you are creating a house accessory, that it has its own designs, and then that it's ready to hang. So the other thing that you need to do is make sure that this has some sort of a hanger. So whether that be that on the back side you attach a wire or whatever that might look like, these will need to have a hanger before you enter them into fair. So make sure that you are doing those types of things. And then also you are going to want to include the home design write-up. So the supporting information, there is a document specifically for home design projects, so make sure you have those ready to go. Otherwise, this project is really open for now interpretation. You can do whatever you want with it, design however you want. You can use items that we have here at the office for you. You can use your own items. It's really truly up to you, and we're so excited to see how you use and create your wreath yarn and how it turns out. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us here at the Extension office. Otherwise, have a great making experience.